Hello and welcome to another episode of All Elite Arcade, your place for video game reviews and video game discussions here at AEW Games. It's a beautiful Monday out there, and I don't know about you guys, that means video games for me, and video games for you, I hope, as well. But before we get started on video games, Chugs, how are you doing?
Yeah,
How are you doing?
it's been quite the week, huh?
It has.
Yeah, so this was not the best week that I've had. Currently going through some challenges, but again, I've been looking forward to being able to do this. But since last week, this is something I always look forward to. Me and you talking about video games. All of you listening, which I really appreciate. But again, I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there. To everyone who has shown their concern, I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you. And yeah, I'm ready to talk about and enjoy some video games with you.
Perfect. Well, we are the podcast of positivity, and which means
Yes.
we're going to be talking about a lot. I don't want to show my hand, but there's one game that both of us are going to have to talk about at the end, probably, of this segment that we have waited a very long time for, and I am very, very excited to talk about. First, and you know what? I'll talk about the one other game I played, and then when we can get through yours, when we get to that last one, we'll both jump in about it.
You got it.
But last week, I talked about Death Stranding 2. I wanted to further talk about that because I put in another, I think, 12 hours this week.
Ooh, nice.
I am really enjoying it. I was feverishly hoping that I could somehow find a way to end it before I would play Donkey Kong Bananza, which is the game we were teasing and talking about, and we will talk about very shortly. That seems impossible because I'm, much like every other game, I'm so driven at doing the things that aren't the main story that I don't think, much like a lot of other games as well, I don't know if I'll finish this game. I've been focusing so much, and I've been enjoying myself. This is not a bad thing. This is actually something I'm really into. Originally, I was so focused on just navigating the map, exploring the map, walking the paths, unlocking the hubs that open up the radars that open up the map. And now, rather than make deliveries and advance the main story and get new items, I've been solely putting all of my resources and time into building roads and bridges everywhere, where I don't know, and this was never what I gravitated towards in the first game, but for some reason, the idea of me paving and making a city and making it habitable and easy to drive around has been my main focus, and I've been so driven at my initial loop was I'll grab all these packages and I'm just going to run to every location. I'm going to deliver them. Everyone's going to be so happy. Now my loop is I go to a hub. I take all of their resources out of their private stock. I drive to a path where I started doing a road. I invest all of that. If that doesn't create the road because you need so many resources for a thing, I drive to another path. I get all their stuff. I come back. I've been doing nothing but road work for the last 8 hours of my gameplay, and I'm having a blast. I don't know how to explain this because it does seem like the most boring, monotonous, habitual tasks, but I'm having a blast just going back and forth, listening to my music, creating roads, making bridges, making it super easy for me to drive around on the terrain. There's incredible combat, and half the time I just divert it because I'm I don't need it unless there's resources. I really just want to make my big circular road around everything. So I'm having a great time. I will probably play more of it. Right now, it will be put on the backlog because Bonanza is in my hands, and that is going to be my sole focus. But what a great game. Death Stranding 2 is worlds better than the first one, at least in my experience from what I've played. And I've just been having, and everyone I've talked to seems to be having a blast with it as well. Universally, it's getting, whatever I said bad about Kojima before, which I did say on this podcast, I got to give him this. His studio made a very, very good game. And he's made great games before too. So
Yes.
incredible game, and I'm having a blast. I'm hoping that maybe the next few months, if things dwindle down, which they won't. There's so many games coming out.
Not a chance.
There's not a chance. I feel like all the big releases are actually about to come out. But I'm hoping I can fit a bit of work in there and get more roads up, explore the entirety of Australia, because it is truly a blast, and I'm having a great time.
Again, Death Stranding 2, I'm really, really excited to play Uno, and I'm glad to hear that you're still having so much fun with it as time goes on. And the road building sounds very satisfying.
Oh, yes.
Sounds very, very satisfying.
Oh, yes.
So
half of the issues in that game is, or not issues, rather some of the things you have to tackle in that game is like trying to get over a giant crevice or trying to get over a river without losing all your stuff. And so once you start building roads and bridges, the game becomes a lot easier, which I guess is not fun to everyone. But for me, for whatever reason, I'm having such a blast knowing that the terrain was nothing but like rocks and grass and inhabitable spaces, and now it kind of looks like a city, and every city's kind of connected by roads. And that's, for whatever reason, my impact on that overall map is really driving me forwards, and hopefully it will drive me forward some more as well. But that is the only other game I played was Donkey Kong, and I would like to hear what else you've been playing before we both get into that.
Sure. But, before we both go on our Bonanza rant.
That's right.
God, I'm so excited to talk about it. But yes, for me, so earlier this week was not able to play as many video games as I would have liked, obviously. But the past few days in preparation for this podcast, I got to play quite a bit of stuff. Again, as always, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. Loving the battles, love collecting the cards. I love it. I'm having so much fun with it on mobile. Maybe my favorite mobile game I played in a very, very long time. Just so addicting. Love it so much. Otherwise, I actually decided I was feeling a little retro, so I decided to jump back into Road Rash. Again, there's this journey I'm on where I'm wanting to go back and play all these old retro games that I played as a kid that I never got the chance to beat. And Road Rash being one of them, actually the first game that I ever played. So I am on, once again, for anyone who doesn't know, there are 5 levels, and then the bikes you're racing against are level 1. After you get first through third in every single race, then you move on to level 2, and it goes the whole way up to level 5. I'm currently at level 4, and there's one more map that I need to get in the top 3. I originally was planning on getting first in every single race, but to advance it, all you have to do is get in the top 3. So I'm on this desert level where the best I've done is level 6, or sorry, in 6th place. So still working on that. It's so hard. Road Rash is so challenging, but it's amazing.
And then historically, you've never beat number 1 in the top difficulty too, right? I feel like we've discussed this previously. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an entire lifetime of games, and you still can't do it.
It's tough, but I know I'm going to do it. I'm super, super excited to do it. Also on Switch 2, I had the chance to finally finish all the Grand Prix in Mario Kart World. And let me tell you, I managed to avoid spoilers for after you complete all the cups, you get the special bonus cup. And then so obviously minor spoilers for Mario Kart World. But you eventually unlock, after you finish all the Grand Prix, a final special Grand Prix. And the last level is Rainbow Road. Holy crap. There have been a lot of really incredible tracks in Mario Kart over its history. I think Rainbow Road in Mario Kart World is probably the best, or my favorite map in the history of Mario Kart. Mm-hmm. It was such a spectacle. Like it really felt like a tribute almost in a lot of ways to all the years and years of Mario Kart and how amazing this game has been. It was beautiful. It really, really was. The music was great. It was so cinematic. So again, the Rainbow Road level in Mario Kart World is a sight to behold. For sure. Really, really cool.
Easily the most beautiful of Rainbow Roads that's been created as of yet.
Yeah, I think so too. The song was great. It was just, it was so cool. And also, Uno, a couple of weeks ago, we had a task where we are in the process of eventually trying games that we recommended to each other. And I wanted to let you know that I did start Doki Doki Literature Club.
Ooh.
I'm still early enough in the game where nothing creepy or weird or scary has happened yet. Again, opening this game and seeing all the warnings that you get had me just on edge the whole time,
Yeah.
and it hasn't happened yet. I did have one little jump scare where when I went to exit the game, it looked like I was in this BIOS menu, and then I went to a new desktop, and I thought like something happened to my game for a second, but then I started moving the mouse around, and it was just this other feature in Doki Doki Literature Club. I think it's because I got the plus version, but I was looking through and I saw pictures and emails that I got. I was too scared to open any of the emails yet, so I closed it. But again, wanted to let everyone know that I did start that. The build-up has been really, really good so far. It is the most normal dating sim I've ever played. So it's I don't know where it's going though. I'm nervous.
I'd be very curious what path you end up on as well, because it's not like branching paths where you make decisions like a Mass Effect, but there is, based on who you decide to couple with and so on, different things happen. And so you're regardless of what you do, you're in for surprises. That's all I have to say.
All right, I'm ready. Hopefully next week I'll have a lot more to say.
And I promise you, I will play Halo Reach next week.
I love it.
I will get right on that.
But I totally understand, Uno, because this week, the both of us, I'd say the game maybe played the most, for me certainly played the most, is we got our hands on Donkey Kong Bananza.
Yes.
Uno, what do you think about it? What do you think about it?
Oh, so I have been waiting for this game for so long. I'm such a big Donkey Kong fan. I did my Donkey Kong streams this year, and my birthday is this weekend too. So this was kind of like, this is my gift to myself. We were working and we were traveling this week, and so I only got to play, I believe, maybe a total of 5 or 6 hours, which is good, because that's in 6 hours. I think I only played through 2 levels, or the way it's structured, at least 2 levels. There's kind of like an intro level initially, but my initial thoughts are that it's been getting 10s across the boards, or 9 and 10s almost everywhere. IGN gave it a 10, a perfect score, and I was already hyped. Everyone else is their anticipation is at an all-time high. Ratings on or like reviews on it are at an all-time high. I thought, okay, crap, this might disappoint, and I'm happy to say it does not. This is. I don't want to go in hyperbole because I haven't completed it. But if the Odyssey team made this, it's insane, because it doesn't feel like any other game I've played. It definitely does feel like a third-person Nintendo game. It has all the attention and care, colorful characters. The music is incredible in this game. They also will remaster old songs, so you kind of like how Final Fantasy, every now and then you'll get a song and you'll get emotional because you're like, oh my god, I didn't realize like how much attachment I had specifically to this song. They've done that at least 3 times in the 2 levels, where I like started having little chills, where I'm like, wow, I didn't anticipate them playing the old music. It's great. We could riff back forth, but like overall, the mining experience in it it's crazy, because at times at times it feels bad, because at times the camera work, I have no idea where I am.
So often that happens to me. So often.
I have no clue where I am because of the camera, but like it also simultaneously, it's like I must be getting somewhere, because every time I dig someplace, I find new stuff. They pack this world filled with the stuff, bananas, fossils, but the gold you could find practically everywhere. There's secrets just about everywhere. It's a stunning game. I don't know, what have you been thinking as of yet?
Yeah, all of my thoughts are exactly the same as yours. This game, again, the expectations for it were super, super high. It's been a long time since we got a 3D Donkey Kong game,
Mhm.
and my God, has it excelled! First of all, I've been playing the entire thing in handheld mode.
Same
It
here.
looks gorgeous, looks absolutely gorgeous on the new Nintendo Switch 2 screen with the HDR and stuff. But my God, the movement. And the digging. I just want to mention the digging again because my God, it's so unbelievably satisfying. Like same thing. I put hours into this game and I think I'm on level 2 or level 3
Mhm.
just because I spend so much time digging just to see where I'm going to end up. And like Uno said, every time I've ever done that, I've been rewarded either with a secret location for an area where I have to try to get a banana or treasure or gold or fossils or what have you. It's so much fun. And there's so many different moves and stuff. So like as I'm
Yes.
getting better at the movement, that's been really fun to traverse around these levels and stuff. But man, it is. I also got the chance. I found a secret area where I did like a retro 2D Donkey Kong level,
I was
which
gonna
was really
say,
really cool.
man, it's and
There's so much.
even the 2D side-scrolling levels, they're visually look like Donkey Kong Country, but they have the mechanics of digging in it too. And so, while being a throwback remakes of like, it's not a remake of an old level, but it does like have that feeling. It has brand new mechanics in it. It's like they could have made a game on that pattern alone, and it would be satisfying. I've been blown away by everything they've shown.
Yeah, it's been so good, and again, you can tell this absolutely is a first party Nintendo game. I'm always so blown away because this game, in a lot of ways, makes me feel similar to how I felt when I first played Odyssey, which again, very appropriate. It's the same team, but I remember the movement with Mario's hat and being like, oh my God, this is so cool. How did they come up with this? That's how I feel about the digging. I know it, like on paper, it's a pretty simple idea, but the execution of it was just so good.
Yeah.
So good.
And then they have like multi layers. Like the beautiful thing is like it's not just digging. You can grab pieces, you can throw them, and based on the density of the material you grab, you've got sand that's probably at like the lowest tier, dirt's just above it, then it's rock, then they have like the metals and whatever that purple stuff is. I don't know the term for it, but that's like the hardest surface of it. And they all interact with each other in different ways. So like the sand will stick to other sand. So you can actually start making like dirt bridges if you want. If you're feeling crazy, you can make structures out of it. If you take some of the harder stuff and you throw it at the lighter stuff, it blows up. It's they like fixed. They have the third person mechanics of an Odyssey, but they made it in such a different way that it does not feel at all like the same game. They're like, if the base game is Odyssey, other than like the color palette and going to the shops makes me feel a lot like it. I'm like, oh, this is the Mario clothing shop, but this is for DK, right? Everything else though feels so unique and different. The way you approach a world, like the second you land on one, most people would be like, okay, well, on the horizon, here's what I can go do. But in this game, I'm like, no, I got to dig down as quickly as possible. There's so much verticality. I need to figure out what's underneath me. I'm not saying it's the best game of the year yet, but I'm saying there's no way it's not making my list. And that's off 5 hours, 6 hours already. And from my understanding of everyone I know who's played it all the way through, they say it only gets better. Like, so you're talking about movement stuff. There's actually a skill tree within the game that you can invest. Like as you're playing, you get a lot of bananas. It's almost impossible not to hit one if you start digging or if you start going a direction. They're practically everywhere, and you're rewarded with. If you get enough bananas, you get a skill point, and you can get that into a skill tree. And the skill tree will add extra movement patterns. Like it'll add, you can start surfing on things. Like you could take a lump of earth on the ground, use it as a skateboard, and now you're 10 times faster to traverse things. You could
you can unlock a double jump.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
You pick up the rock and then hit jump again. You go even higher. Yeah.
So like right off the bat, you feel like you have so much freedom. But then as you progress in this game, you have even more freedoms. You can start getting really zany with your movement, really zany with the things you start doing. So yeah, I'm very excited to play more of it. We'll definitely be talking about it next week because my week is pretty much I'm gonna get through my work, and then the second I'm done work is like a 3-day marathon of this video game.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm very excited to see this. I'm very excited to see, like, will we see more Donkey Kong after this? Because there's no way this isn't a success. This is This is like the biggest game that's going to release on Switch this year, unless Prime 4 comes out. I feel like we're going to see a resurgence of Donkey Kong.
I think so too. And again, totally think it was an amazing decision by Nintendo to not pack in. Well, I guess in some cases, but to have Mario Kart World be the launch title for the Switch 2. So smart. It's an amazing game. Really, really amazing Mario Kart. But I feel like this is going to create like a second wind of the Switch 2 being a system seller. Like this game is that good. And I think gamers of all over the world are really, really going to enjoy this game. So yeah, it's massively successful.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is an equivalent in everywhere else in the world, but when the Switch 2 initially launched in Canada, it wasn't that hard to get one because they made such a large supply for launch that stores would regularly get them in. I looked this week because I was curious, and you have to wait a month to get a Switch 2 right now because so many people are pre-ordering it post-launch. I have a feeling a lot of people skip, even though it is one of the largest launches of all time. I have a feeling a lot of people skipped the launch knowing this game was coming out, and we're like, oh yeah, a month and a half later, it'll be easier to get a console. It does not seem to be the case because I was talking to my friends. They're on a 1-month waiting list for them to get a delivery. I am very lucky. I have one. I even appropriated a second one that I didn't need. But just saying, I feel like this, especially if we're going to get this and we're going to get Prime 4 at the end of the year, I feel like Switch is practically a dead set success already. They've really layered their big games in a way that I think it will sell very well for the next 6 months. So yes, overall, go play Bananza. It's really good. It's
so good.
So good. I mean, so good. And I haven't even tried the co-op mode either because you have a secondary character, Pauline, which was in the trailer, so that is not a spoiler. And I guess in co-op mode, the secondary player can interact with the world. I don't know how that works, but I would love to find out. So I'm hoping maybe in the next week I can try to find a second to at least pop in for a little bit and give a little bit of an opinion on that. But do let us know what you're thinking about Donkey Kong. Go to youtube.com/AEW Games into our comments and let us know if you're playing and what do you think about the resurfacing of a proper Donkey Kong title. Tell us all about it, youtube.com/AEW Games. Have you played anything else, Chugs?
No, that was about it for me.
All right.
That was about it.
Same here. It's a 2-game week for me. Next week, we'll talk more for sure. There's a little bit of news for us to talk about, though, and we will talk about that right after this. Welcome back. You are right back here with us at All Elite Arcade. It's time to talk the news of the week. We've had a bunch of big news weeks, a lot of it about layoffs and stuff. I will say this week does seem layoff free unless we did not get some of that news to us. So a good week, at least on that front, but not a very big news week. The biggest news piece is one that I'm personally excited for, and that is Mortal Kombat 2. The movie, sequel to the Mortal Kombat movie from 4 years ago, is coming out this October, and a trailer has dropped. The Mortal Kombat movie seems to feature over 16 different Mortal Kombat characters, which already has a larger roster than that previous movie. And it's got Carl Urban, who you might know as an actor from Judge Dredd, Star Trek, The Boys. He gets to play Johnny Cage in this movie. The whole movie seems to be tailored to Johnny Cage as the main character. You see, they just dropped a huge trailer, a 2.5 minute one, as well as a teaser trailer where It's a fake movie that Johnny Cage works on because Johnny Cage is an actor within the Mortal Kombat, lore. Very excited for it overall. I know I'll be seeing it. Did you enjoy the previous Mortal Kombat movie, Chugs?
I did. Yeah. And I unfortunately have not had the chance to see the this trailer yet. But just like you, I'm definitely going to be going to see this. Very, very excited for it. Very excited for it.
Yeah, me too. And I think Carl Urban is incredible. So I'm very excited to see him in this because he's kind of the only big lead actor in it. If we're comparing it to the Street Fighter movie that is having,
Sure.
We talked about it last week. It's got Reigns in it. It's got Orville Peck. It's got so many recognizable names. They just actually this week confirmed that E Honda will be Goto from New Japan, which is just the who's who of everything in the world is in this.
Amazing.
So it is kind of fun to see the comparative of Street Fighter that is building this super roster of cool cameos, and Mortal Kombat is just like focusing on actual actors, action stars, and just kind of building a good story. So I'd love to. I'm excited to eventually have compare both franchises when they both come out because they're the two top fighting games out there, and honestly, the two that are probably going to make the most money if they were to turn into movies.
Right.
So yes, do check out Mortal Kombat 2, starring Carl Urban. That will be coming out in October. Little piece of news. This one is about a Netflix show. It would seem a Halo writer is working to turn an Assassin's Creed video game into a live-action Netflix show. We've been seeing a lot of video game TV shows recently. I feel like that's going to be the next big craze. As far as, Last of Us, Fallout.
I hope so.
Yes, I mean, like for us especially, we're huge fans. But it just lends itself to long form storytelling. Most video games stories are upwards of 10 plus hours. TV is about the same as well. But yes, an Assassin's Creed show was announced over 5 years ago originally, and now 5 years later, it's finally in development. It's got the people that worked on the Halo TV show, which was Roberto Patino and David Weiner, are officially showrunners on this one. They'll be creators and executive producers, and the hopes is that they will make one based on the original trilogy of Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 3. So it'll be Ezio is my assumption. Yes, the hope is that they will be able to make a TV series for about a year or two from now. And honestly, I think if you're taking a big swing at it, Assassin's Creed is probably a good one because that's been in the zeitgeist of video games for the last 15 years. So probably going to be a success. Will it be good? To be seen, but I will at least be giving it a shot.
I have high hopes with how good a lot of the adaptations have been, both movies and TV show wise. Also, the two guys who were involved in making the Halo TV series, the second season, I really feel like they started to figure out this awesome direction of where it was going. So that had me really excited. So hopefully working on the Assassin's Creed show, we're going to see more of that. So I'm definitely going to check this out.
Yeah, that was, I have not seen the Halo show, but almost everyone was saying, oh my God, Halo 2 season 2 is incredible. And then they just ended up canceling it before more people got invested in it. That's just the way it works, though. But hopefully we will be seeing this in the next couple of years. It's been in pre-production for almost 5 already. Our next news piece is also, it's a big video game movie TV series week because Nintendo has gone out and confirmed the actors who are going to play Link in Zelda in their live action The Legend of Zelda movie. Now, I think there was a lot of rumors about who would do this. I remember at one point Zendaya and Tom Holland were big rumors as to who would be in there, and I think that was just mostly people hoping that would be the case because they're the hot power couple right now. But instead, the people who were chosen for this are people I've never heard of before. Zelda will be played by Bo Bragison, who I do not know, but I'm also not in tune with recent movies. And Link will be played by Benjamin Evan Ainsworth, who I also don't know. Both of these are very young people. I believe they might be late teens, which to some extent is probably a good thing because that means there's a lot of place to grow if they make more than one movie. This movie is projected to come out in May of 2027 right now, which means they're probably filming their scenes right now because there's going to be some post-production to be done. Bragison is 21. She was in the fantasy series Renegade Nell and the BBC crime drama The Jetty. I've never heard of any of these shows. And then Ainsworth, who is playing Link, is only 16 years old. And his most notable one is he was the child in The Haunting of Bly Manor, which was a Netflix horror series. So fairly young, but that's a big gamble on the Nintendo side. I think Zelda sells itself. You really don't need a big actor, I don't think. The property is what sells it. And so, yeah, I'm still very excited to see this. But I wonder what the tone is going to be for a Zelda movie.
Yeah, I am too. I'm really, really excited to see this, especially too knowing that Nintendo is just so unbelievably protective of their properties. It's hard to imagine that they're not going to have their claws in this a decent amount. And I think in turn, based on Nintendo's reputation, this movie is going to be awesome. I think it's awesome that we have two relatively young, unknown actors. I'll be interested too, based on the success of this movie, is like if going forward, people will look at them as Link and Zelda from this point on. I hope so. I hope this movie does incredible. And what an iconic thing to be involved in. I can only imagine how excited both of those actors are. So yeah, really cool. I'm stoked to see this. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, these are like roles of a lifetime. Like this is like being, if you were casted as Batman or Superman, you get to be Batman or Superman for the rest of your life. This is the equivalent of that. And Nintendo's been doing really well. The last movie they made was that Mario one. That's incredible. And I think that in the future, they also talked about a Donkey Kong one. Obviously, with this new Donkey Kong video game, the Nintendo craze rolls on and continues forward. So I'd be very excited to see what kind of success the Zelda movie is going to have, because I feel like regardless of the quality of it, it will do well on launch. It's just to be seen to see if more will happen afterwards.
Yeah.
The final thing I'd like to talk about this week is actually a little bit of a report came out looking into analytics of video game releases. This one's about PlayStation. So PlayStation's first-party output has dropped almost 70% since the PS3 era. And before I get really into this, I will explain. They've accounted all first-party titles, but they did not count. They excluded anything that was a remake, a remaster, or a re-release of their, like the Last of Us 1 was a re-release, Uncharted Collection was a re-release. And from PS3, the output from first-party Sony is 70% less than PS3. I don't think that's super surprising because I feel like the cycle to make a video game now is much longer than ever. And I almost feel like while first party definitely rules console sales, third party is kind of what makes the most sales yearly. You're talking about all the sports games, all the Call of Duties, all the Assassin's Creeds. They're all third parties. They have really, I think, taken a much larger part of the pie. But if we're talking first party, Sony's still knocking it out with great first. But God of War's still incredible. Death Stranding is not a first party, but is an exclusive. I don't know if they would have counted that. I'm trying to think what else is a first party.
I mean, this has changed now, but Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
That's true. It was
PlayStation exclusive as well. So yeah, there's so Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yes. Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
The next Wolverine game that's going to come out as well.
Yep. Exactly. So Sony still has, just like you said, just incredible first party titles. I think that's one of its many reasons for being so successful. But like you said, again, games now take a lot longer to make, probably even more people, even more expensive. So yeah, these games are going to take a little bit longer now, unfortunately.
Yeah, if you're looking at like the top first parties, you're thinking of Bend. They had their, they haven't made anything since their zombie game. Their last game was canceled outright. So whatever cycle they were on has been extended. They've yet to come out with a PS5 game. Naughty Dog hasn't come out with a PS5 game yet either. They're on their, we announced that hack and slash in space. I forget the title of it right now.
Yeah, me too.
But like that's gonna have a large cycle on production. What else is one of their first parties? Housemarque made the Returnal, so that was a first party launch. But we don't know what their next project is. That's probably still a ways away. I think the main part is just the cycle to make a video game is not 4 years anymore. It's 7 and 8, and that's the entirety of a console's life cycle most of the time. And so I don't think it's worrying, but it is very interesting to find out that, especially in the PS3 days, it felt like we were getting first party titles every 2 weeks. Now they're fairly rare, but they are very impactful when they do come out.
Yeah.
What is your first party favorite title from Sony? Let us know in the comments, youtube.com/AEW Games. Let us know what you prefer. If I were to make a bold claim, I think The Last of Us one is maybe one of, if not the best first party games Sony's ever produced. That would be mine for sure.
That's hard to argue.
Yes.
The Last of Us Part 1 is the reason I bought a PS4.
Yes.
I just really wanted, and that was a PS3 game. And then after playing that, I was like, oh my God, I have to play every first party Sony game ever. This is amazing.
And it's not even that surprising. John Silver told me he bought a PS5 because he had never played Last of Us. Watched the TV series. He's like, now I have to play 1 and 2. I was like, well, those games are from previous cycles, but yes, buy a PlayStation. Yeah, you're not wrong. That just shows you Last of Us is still selling consoles. But let us know. Maybe you have a different one. youtube.com/AW Games. Get in those comments. That's it for this week's In News. We've had like little news pieces otherwise, but I don't think we could get too much out of that. If you think we missed something super important, also let us know in our comments down below. Now, it is time. It is that time for a favorite part of the show, the arcade mailbag, and it happens right after this. Welcome back. It is time for our favorite segment of the show. That is the community mailbag, the arcade mailbag, where we answer your questions. You can get your questions answered if you send it to us at tbs.com/arcade mailbag. And as always, our segment is brought to you by our good friends at Upper Deck. It is time. It is time for you to collect your favorite wrestlers in the 2024, 2025, and the 2025 Allure Upper Deck AEW packs and start your trading card collection today. Unwrap autographs, memorabilia, or premium tech inserts. Visit upperdeck.com to learn more. We don't have a pack today. Both of us, surprisingly, at our mother's homes.
Yes,
it's a mother heavy weekend for both of us, and so neither of us brought a pack to unpack. But next week we will. I did get to see the panel of Upper Deck last week when we were in Texas. Sting showed up. All kinds of stuff is happening, and I also got to see a bunch of people sign for the next set of cards, and so do get very excited. There's more Upper Deck stuff. Go find your Upper Deck cards at upperdeck.com, as well as other stuff. It's not just AEW wrestling cards. There's also other sports stuff. Do check them out. We have 3 questions today. This first question is from Casey. Casey says, hey guys, one game I'm looking forward to and think it could be one of the most underrated games of this year is the Dark Pac-Man Metroidvania game Shadow Labyrinth, which I believe just came out last week. I was sold on the idea with that episode of Secret Level. I was wondering, what other retro games would you love to see reimagined with a weird twist, and what would that be? Great question, Casey.
Ooh. Yes, very good question. The one that immediately comes to mind for me, and I don't know if I mentioned it on this podcast before, but again, we were just talking about it earlier in the episode. The Legend of Zelda, one of the most popular,
Yes.
one of the most amazing franchises of all time. I think a turn-based RPG Zelda game would just be so cool. Again, I think that it fits so well within that world with different weapons you can collect, different tunics you can collect, the RPG elements of it. I think that would be so much fun to get a turn-based RPG Zelda game.
I also think, like, especially now that I feel like all turn-based RPGs are going to start implementing Expedition 33's like parry and block sauce systems. I feel like now is the best time to drop one of those. There could be so much, and Nintendo would rock it. They've done they've done a lot of interesting RPGs. They just never have touched the Zelda franchise.
Yeah.
On my end, and I will admit that part of this is because I've been playing Donkey Kong, and part of it is because I'm excited for this Pac-Man Metroidvania. But I used to love Dig Dug when I was a kid. I thought Dig Dug was one of my favorite NES games, and I've always been puzzled why we've done nothing with that franchise. It's a thing that and Ice Climbers were things I attached to Nintendo, and I feel nothing has ever happened with them. So I think, yes, if we were to make a first-person digging game kind of like Donkey Kong for Dig Dug, that would be great. But I actually think what would be better is a 2D Metroidvania digging style game, kind of like what's a SteamWorld Heist, SteamWorld Dig. Have you ever played those?
Yep.
So it's like a Metroidvania, but like the big, instead of getting new powers that like break doors, you get to break through different earths and different types of textures. I feel like a Dig Dug game nowadays could be very fun. A great little throwback. Throw it on the Switch too, is what I'm saying.
Yes, that would be fun. That'd be really fun.
If you have any great suggestions, do also let us know in our comments. We would love to read those. Thank you, Casey, very much for that question. As always, we appreciate you sending it in. Next up is Tristan. Tristan says, "What's up, Chugs and Uno? I know both of you guys are fans of the FF7 remake games. What do you guys want to see in the next game, and what do you think they can improve on? For starters, I don't think I would miss Chadley if they removed him entirely from the next game. I find him very annoying as he frequently pops up in a video call every time you complete a quest in the open world, and I just found myself skipping through his dialogue every time." Great question. Chugs, before you give your answer, I'm going to say something that I have never admitted on here. I did not finish the last game. And I've wanted to, especially because you and I had a conversation about how impactful the end of the second game was.
So impactful.
And I should have really gone there. But I'm starting to see a pattern in the way I play video games. And I think I have a fear of finishing games because every time I get close to it, Expedition 33, Doom, these are just the ones from this year, for example. This game, Tears of the Kingdom. I get close to the end, and then I tell myself, no, there's more to visit. I shouldn't end this now. I don't want this to end. And then I never play it. I never finish it. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing to do.
You don't want the experience to be over.
It's
too hard for you to process.
Yes, yeah. but then by process, I make it over by never playing it again.
Right.
Anyway,
exactly.
I love the Final Fantasy VII remake games, but I have not finished last one, so I will not. This is all yours, Chugs.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, you definitely got to finish Rebirth
do.
again. It's, oh my God, just what an unbelievable game. First of all, to comment on something, I do think in regards to Chadley, I think there's something more to this character. I think we're going to find out in part 3 who is controlling Chadley or what Chadley is exactly, because he's such a fascinating character that I'm convinced in some capacity there's going to be something deeper there. But again, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was my game of the year. They just absolutely knocked it out of the park. They took everything from remake, made it bigger, made it better. So I am beyond excited for part 3. But the one thing that I would like to see them do or improve on maybe is the enemy skill materia. So in the original Final Fantasy VII, all the different enemy skills that you can get were so cool and so important. It was fun to collect them all and figure out which enemies you'd have to manipulate to get them to cast that certain move or hope that they cast the move. But it was such a cool thing. And in Remake, they touched on it a little bit. In Rebirth, they touched on it a little bit more. But I would really like in Part 3 them to go even further. I want to see even more enemy skills, more hidden enemy skills. I loved that so much in the original FF7, so I hope they jump on that a little bit more. And as far as what I'm really excited about and hoping that they do going forward as well, I think obviously being able to fully traverse the open world in the high wind is going to be really awesome and important. I want the weapon fights, like Emerald and Ruby weapon, the optional ones.
That has to happen, right?
It has to happen, and it has to be really long.
Yes.
It has to be like a 45-minute fight, just so hard with so much HP. Like definitely one of those that only the best of the best players can actually finish. So there has to be that. I also think too, I hope the fight to get Knights of the Round is also like incredibly difficult, incredibly challenging. Again, the best summon in the original FF7, that fight, I can only imagine how wild that's going to be. I'm really enjoying what they're doing where, again, we are getting the original Final Fantasy VII, but with a new twist. I've been so impressed by the story changes and what they do, but I do hope we get to visit every single town that we've missed so far. So Bone Village, Rocket Town. I want Wutai to be like I want it to be huge. I want it to be massive. And I think they know what they have in store for us, and I think they're really excited about it, which makes me excited too. So I cannot wait for Part 3. I stand by this. Remake or Rebirth did not win Game of the Year, but I think Part 3 is going to win Game of the Year whenever it comes out.
Oh, it has a very good chance because that's that's the crux of the whole story. So I'm very excited as well. I have nothing else to add. I think that's, to me, my big thing I was going to say is I hope we get to traverse by plane everywhere because that's like what late game FF7 is to me. And the ultimate weapons and the Ruby weapons, Emerald weapons, if they're not in this, that's a crime. They've got
to be.
That's late game. That's late game Final Fantasy VII to me. And I don't know about you. I've never beaten all of them.
I have beaten all of them.
Really?
I have beaten all of them. Yeah. But just absolutely ridiculous fights.
Oh yeah.
Like Ruby weapon to spawn, and then those two tentacles spawn behind you, and then as time goes on, he just slowly eliminates characters. It's absurd. And you know that those weapons, Ruby and Emerald, were not in the original Japanese release. They were added to the North American version. Then eventually Japan got another release with Emerald and Ruby weapon in it. But yeah, they added that for us. Over here in North America.
A good little lore. I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So then they only had Ultimate in their original.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go, Tristan. I hope you enjoyed that answer and enjoyed the little bit of lore that you got from there. Very excited. I believe that game is still 2 years away, if I remember correctly. On projection, right?
It hasn't even been announced. Like we know that they're working on it, but there's been no trailer. No, not even. We don't even know the title of the game.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
and we're already past the June announcement, so I don't think we're going to see anything till probably next year. If I make an assumption, probably 2027 or maybe even early 2028 at this point.
Right.
Thanks again, Tristan, for your question. Our final question is from Colin, and Colin says, "Hey, Chugs and Uno, if you had to enter an esports tournament tomorrow, what game would you give the best shot at getting wrecked? Or what game would give you the best shot at not getting wrecked or possibly even winning?" Good question, Colin. Good question. That's tough.
I think I got mine. Which that's a great question. Also, to be clear, I don't think I would win, but I don't think I would get wrecked. Well, I guess it would depend on who I'm playing, but my answer is Halo by far. It's what I put the most time into. I'd played Halo on stage before against former Halo world champions and other people like that, and I did pretty good. I did pretty decent. So I think my best shot is Halo.
And internally in AEW, you wrecked everyone at Halo. I remember
me and Orange had some close matchups.
I was gonna say Orange. It ate at him for weeks after you beat him because he's a very competitive. Thank you very much. Yeah, he's a very competitive player, and he thought that was his game. I've seen Chugs in action. Chugs is very good at it. I had to think this through, and based on the amount of hours and just how general runs go, I think I would do very well in Fortnite. I don't think I would win, but I think I can make top 15 on most places. That might be overestimating my own skills, but I feel like of all the games in the world, that might be the one I've put the most time in and could probably play at the highest level. Because otherwise, I don't know, historically I play a lot of video games, but I am not good at them.
Right.
At least on a competitive level. A fighting game, I'm not going to beat you at. Smash Brothers I might be okay at, but if you put in a real person in there, like a vet of competitive Smash Brothers, I would get wrecked. So I think mine is Fortnite. If you were to play one, let us know what you would win. YouTube.com/AEW Games. That is where you can find our video format of our podcast, where you can drop our comments. You can also find our other stuff, including MXM's Bronami Code Show that drops every single Thursday. Our episodes drop every single Monday at noon Eastern Standard Time. And if you're listening to a podcast, wherever the podcasts are provided in the wee hours of the morning is when the audio format comes. Thank you to all three people, Casey, Tristan, and Colin, for your questions. If you want questions answered on a next episode of All Elite Arcade, go to tbs.com/arcade mailbag. That is your best way to send your questions to us. I will be on Twitch, maybe. I keep saying I'm going to be, but I'm finally home for 2 weeks, so I am hoping I will be back on twitch.tv/eviluno. Chuck, do you think you'll be back on shortly soon?
Yes. So this past week, I've not been able to stream, obviously, with everything going on, but I'm hoping that because this podcast drops on a Monday, I'm hoping either today or tomorrow on Tuesday, I'm going to be able to be back on stream finally, which, trust me, I am looking forward to that so much. I miss the Chugs Army. I can't wait to get on there and play some awesome video games. But that's twitch.tv/thechugs. And if we are back today or tomorrow, I'm going to continue the Liza P. Overture DLC. So let's go.
There you go. And if I get pop in on this week, I will jump into some mid-game Bonanza. I was 3, 4, 5, 6 hours in. Hopefully by the time my Twitch stream, and by the time this episode comes in, I'm only maybe 8 hours in, so I'm not spoiling a whole lot of stuff. But do check us out as well. Go to twitch.tv/AEW Games every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Someone, be it MXM, myself, or others, hosts a Twitch stream. Do check that out as well. We appreciate you all. Honestly, it is still one of the greatest part of our weeks is to talk video games with y'all, and we do appreciate your support. Thank you so much for the floods of comments over the last few weeks, and we will see you next week, next Monday, for another episode of All Elite Arcade. Bye-bye.